5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You now rocking with the Homeboy Etiquette podcast. This your main man over here at the 5280Q, passing off to the arc reactor.
Yo, this is Kemet the Raw, representing Homeboy Etiquette here on YouTube. Also representing KMT Games and KMT Productions here on YouTube. Before we get started, I'm going to ask that you guys go ahead and leave a like for the video. Subscribe to the page if you have not already. And, if you guys hear something that piques your interest, go ahead and leave those comments down below. We can have a discussion here in the comments. Let's go ahead and get this started.
So, as you said, hit that like button because we need you to be very well tempted. I know you feel that temptation to hit that bell notification too to let you know whenever we drop some new shit right there. Give in to the fucking temptation. It's just your imagination. Don't let it run away from you like that bell is. Hit that motherfucker. Go for it. Give in to your dark side. Do it. Do it anyway. Alright, anyway, so we sitting there talking right now. We had an incident where one of us had to go through a test and it was like Temptations was on the fucking line or something like that. And Temptation was looking good. There's a lot of Temptations out there that was looking fucking good. Mm-hmm. But you know what? As, Vader's friend from another fucking ship, but actually they wasn't even friends. It was on opposite sides, so it was the ops, Vader's ops once said, when it came down to that Temptation, nigga, he said, "It's a trap."
I'm gonna have to get that on the soundboard. It's a trap! Admiral Akbar. Yeah. That's super funny. Okay. So, alright, so the topic for today is temptation. And so I think that there's a lot of different forms of temptation, man. Like, so it could be as simple as you're on a diet and you get tempted to eat that Cinnabon cinnamon roll. You walk past it in the mall, you can smell it, the cinnamon, warm, creamy goodness like filling your nostrils. You start getting hungry, you start envisioning it, drool starts to pour down your face, and you're just like, please God, no, I can't have any extra carbs today. All I can have is salad and fish. Give me strength. And then you have other things to where, it could be temptation in forms of drugs, something like that. Drugs or addictions or something like that. Or even, relationships where it's like maybe you're in a committed relationship, a baddie walks by you, and then all of a sudden your heart starts. I got something for that one. It starts beating, man. But there you go. And as this baddie's walking by you, like your imagination just starts running wild. You're just like, what I would do to her. But wait a minute, I have a wife at home, so I'm going to fight my desire to plow this random chick right here, right now.
Yo, but that's some cocky ass shit. Just be looking at a chick like, I could plow, but I will not plow. Like, I could.
Mr. Plow, that's my name.
But that kind of reminds me of, you remember that movie by Chris Rock where he's, I Think I Love My Wife?
Yeah.
And at the end of it, when he's talking to that one character, that one dude, and he goes, yo, how the fuck do you do it, man? He says, shit, man, I just call up a hooker, pop in a Viagra, bang out the hooker, then go home to my lovely wife and eat dinner with my kids.
Yeah. Sounds simple to me. I mean, what's the problem?
like Chris had that opportunity with that one chick. She was finally about to let him hit. That motherfucker was right there in bed, just like crawling on her. It's like, I'm a tiger on the prowl. Then you seen that little stupid ass tie bandana, and it made him think of his kid and goes, "Daddy," and he goes, No, I can't do this. She's like, no, get your ass. Like, no, I'm giving this to you now. It's yours. Come on. The thing didn't work out with the last guy. You're my last hope. And he's like, no. Run home to his goddamn wife, like, baby, I love you.
Yeah. I mean, and I've heard a lot of stories like that where it's just like, a guy could literally be like mid-stroke and then just be like, you know what? I don't think I should be doing this. That apparently happens with girls a lot.
Wait, do you get credit for stopping mid-stroke? Be like, dude, I was in, and then I stopped, babe, and I said I couldn't do this, and I pulled out.
You're not gonna get the credit for it, but you should.
Yeah, you should get credit.
because here's the thing is that I do think you should get the credit, but my thing is that as soon as it goes in, bro, like for me, like the mental barrier is gone. Like I'm in it now. Like, it's done. Like, I won't stop.
If we had, so we had homegirls on the opposite side of the table, they could ask that question. They'd be like, the reverse situation, if she let him get a half stroke in and said, stop, never mind, can't do this, and they stopped in right there, Does she get credit for that? I'm like, fuck no, nigga, no.
No, I mean, no. I mean, because like there's when it comes to the other side, like there's so much that goes into a woman allowing you to get even up to that point that like mentally and emotionally, she already fucked the guy, but then once the actual act came into play, then all of a sudden she felt guilty about it at the last second. And then
it's not even the last second, it's after the last second.
Yeah. So
that shit's already in there.
Which brings up which we could probably talk about this another day, but which actually brings up the whole retroactive rape allegations. You know what I mean? Because like there are situations where like it's like buyer's remorse, where a girl has sex with a guy, he maybe not calls her, ditches her and stuff like that. She gets upset about it, then calls rape. You know what I mean? Even though it was consensual at the time. But then there's also stuff where it's like, I've heard where a woman was having sex with a guy. He doesn't know this is happening. He thinks that it's like a all honky-dory. But in her head, like she'll tell the court, in her head she was thinking rape, but she was supposedly too scared to stop the guy once they started having sex to tell him to stop. Which I think is horseshit. You know what I mean? But that's a whole different thing.
I'm about to walk off screen, go to the courthouse, just get the damn ring on this goddamn finger. Fuck that shit. I don't want to come back out here into this dating game.
Oh, dude, there's so much grimy shit. We'll have to talk about that like in a full segment. Like,
we have to do our proper research too for a topic.
Yeah. We'll make sure that we get the right facts, data, and statistics, so that we're not just just shooting the shit with that one. But yeah, temptation.
I really don't want to poke at.
Yeah, like temptation. So like so.
Bear, and you're just poking at the stupid bear. It's like it's tempting to poke the bear, get the shot on Instagram. Like no, if you poke it, you better poke it with a fucking pike straight through the brain. Like no.
Yeah. Like yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to get some kind of animal growling sound. But
yeah, it should be like it was like I forgot what comedian it was. It was like just like one of those. Like one of the feminine dudes be like rawr.
Rawr. Like but yeah, okay, so here's a question. So I think we'll build up into the more serious ones. Okay, so what is typically the motivating factor behind typical temptations like as you go throughout your day? Is it literally just fuck it? Or is it something like I wonder if I could get away with that? Or something like that. Like what is it for you?
See, I have a story. So temptation it goes. So back in middle school days, there was if you didn't do your work, I didn't do my work for shit. I graduated high school with a 1.3 grade point average. I didn't like.
I wasn't much better.
I didn't like doing shit. I like reading the books, but I was like, okay, you're gonna write an 8-page paper. I'm like, yeah, nah, y'all niggas writing 8-page paper. I'm gonna write me a goddamn check to go get pizza at the damn store.
Right, and like. But yeah, like it was kind of the same thing for me too, except like the classes I was interested in, I always got A's.
Okay, that's not what the temptation was. I was talking about.
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
All right, so middle school, so I had Saturday school, and then walk past the cafeteria. The cafeteria, has those stores in there where you can buy shit, all the junk food right there.
Yeah.
One day I was walking by that motherfucker, and I was like, man, it'd be crazy if somebody just jumped in there, just got in there somehow. All that candy was just right there, and you could just bag it. And I looked up, and I was like, holy shit, there's no ceiling on that damn thing. It's just these little bars. And I was like,
I could probably reach in there and grab some.
Like, not reach in, shit, open it. I was like, if this door is unlocked, open the door. And I was like, holy shit. And this is tempting. This is a crime. You can... Shit, I jumped up in that motherfucker and I climbed down. I threw all that candy in my goddamn backpack. I was like, bitch. I did that every Saturday school, and the temptation of it was that I could do it, I could get away with it, and I can eat all the fucking junk food I want.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's how it starts. Is like it actually starts off as like you test the waters kind of thing. And then once you realize that like you could probably do it, then you just try it. That reminds me of a story of back when I was in middle school, and me and one of my friends, we started like going into the store, and then we would just pocket some stuff, like little things here and there. I really liked mechanical pencils, so like I would just steal mechanical pencils, and stuff like that, like magazines and whatever. And it got to the point of where like I started wearing big ass jackets with tons of pockets to literally just go into the store and just like start taking all the bunch of stuff, and then until eventually I got caught. You know what I mean? And like, but the temptation on it was because at first it was just I really want that and I don't have the money, so let me see if I can take this And then I was able to do it, and I was able to do it again and again and again until I finally got caught. And it was the day when I wore the giant jacket. And so my pockets were full of shit. So they caught me on the cameras, obviously. Like, it wasn't even that cold of a day to be wearing a giant jacket like that.
It's like, nigga, it's 72 degrees outside.
And I'm wearing a big ass coat, and then so I'm just emptying all types of shit out of the pockets, bro. And yeah, I wanted to actually being able to keep some. They're like, is that everything? If we check you, and that's not everything. And I still lied, and I was just like, because they had there was like a demo disc for some game or whatever, like a PlayStation demo disc or something like that. And I really wanted it because I didn't have like other regular games, so I would play just demo discs. And so I really wanted that, so I didn't tell them about that. But the temptation led into a habit. Is what I'm saying is that at first it was just I want that, can I get away with this? And then I just kept getting away with it until it wasn't even temptation anymore. It was just, okay, I'm just gonna take it. You know what I mean? Luckily, because of that experience, the police were called, got a nice hefty fine, got my ass beat super bad. To this day, that was the most epic ass beating I've ever gotten. And he waited until I fell asleep and then beat me awake.
What?
Bro.
Wait. So explain. Tell the story.
So after my dad had to come up there because I was a minor, right? And they had called the police and stuff, and I had to wait there. I was sitting there waiting for an hour or so for my dad to get there. And, he talks to them, and then they tell him that they're going to send him a ticket in the mail. Or a fine or something like that. They got all the information. And then we're heading back home, and he's just like, you're about to get it, right? And I'm just and I literally am already whimpering at that point. And literally so I just go to my room and I'm literally just waiting for this beating to go down.
That man is
and literally it was I waited so long, it was hours. It was daytime when we got home and it was nighttime when I was woken up. And I was literally just asleep in the bed and then bro, it was.
So how did it feel? You're sitting there, you're sleeping, and you just said, what's that?
Yeah, no, it was I was unconscious, and then I hear the door open because I'm a light sleeper, so I'm like, huh, what? and he just starts beating the shit out of me, bro. I'm just it wasn't like punching me or nothing like this. He's like, this is hurting me more than it does you. And I'm just See, what I tried to do, and you know what I also did? I literally was trying to prepare myself for it. So I literally stuffed, I wore 3 pairs of pants, and then I stuffed socks into the leg and ass areas so that when he hit, and then so the first few times when he hit, he could hear there was a weird sound that I made because it was just padded with stuff, and then he was just oh no you didn't, and then so he pulls them all out and then beats me even harder, and he beats me it just starts beating me even harder. To this day I've never received a beating that epic from my fucking dad in my entire life. I'll never forget it because he waited so long. I got time to strategize, but obviously it didn't work. And oh dude,
he knew you fucked up. He's in there. He's SWAT.
And he's wait, that doesn't seem right. And then, oh my god.
Oh.
Oh hell no! And bro, I was a little smart ass shit, bro. I literally tried to think my way through the beating, and so it was.
He tried to kill you after that.
After that he started beating me harder. He was just he started hitting me on my back and shit, and you just you can't block that, can you? You can't block that, can you? And I was just I will never forget that, bro. But that's how that story ended. But okay,
my greatest ass whooping, worst ass whooping came from all my worst ass whoopings usually came from my mother. I think my dad, if he ever watches this shit, he'll probably be a little bit insulted that he's not up there in that top 10 category.
Top 10.
No, he's up there. He got one in there. I was 5th grade, and for this whole week, Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving, they were I was ditching school because my boy Larry let me and my boy Chris borrow this game. So we're in Detroit at the time. I'm going for 5th grade, and I used to walk to Chris's house, pick up Chris, and then we walk up the street to the school because school's just up the street from Chris's house. So me and Chris would just be sitting there playing a game, Day one, we was like, oh shit, we gotta go to school, nigga. So we run to school, we half day late. It's like, cool, we got here in time, good. I was like, hey, yo, Chris didn't wake me up, that's why we late.
Oh, okay.
All right, next day is, we didn't go to school at all. Next day, we didn't go to school at all. Next day, we didn't go to school at all.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Friday, we did a half a day. We was like, all right, man, we feeling guilty. We probably should go to school. Man, I'm kind of glad we did because that would have been a hell of a surprise when I got home.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, that'd been terrible.
Well, because they're supposed to, like, if you do a no call, no show, or like, like not showing up with no excuse or something like that, and typically they immediately call the parents, right?
Oh, they didn't. So Friday, we get to school and shit, and all of a sudden our English teacher comes up to me. He's like, hey. So we got there half day. Chris went to his other class and went to English, and she goes, hey, so Chris says that you guys were ditching school playing video games. I was like, no. I was like, we were in Ohio with my family.
With my family. How dare you accuse me of something so low?
Because we were in fucking Ohio, but that was last month, but Chris wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, cool, whatever. Then Chris gets to class and shit, and he comes up to me, he's like, hey, yo, Miss B told me that you narked on us. Like, yo, she said you said that. And then I was like, hell yeah, that's what we did. And I was like, no, I told her, she said the same thing to me, and I said, we were in Ohio. And we was like, oh shit, we knew we fucked.
You guys should have got your story straight, man.
Man. But basically, get home, Thanksgiving, we fast forward. My mom almost forgets to whoop my ass because Thanksgiving festivities is going on. She's just visiting in town and shit.
Right.
And then they remind her of that. And then, they just said, the adults downstairs, we sitting there drinking, laughing, joking. The other kids in the basement. And we just hear, wait. It's like, yo, man. It's like, we didn't know it was going to be that bad. And, we all felt so terrible for reminding her.
Bro.
Nigga, fuck yes, you should.
No, bro, like, that is so messed up, man.
Did that temptation, that ass whooping ever stop me from ditching school again? Fuck no.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like, so this isn't the only type of debauchery I did as a kid, man. So, like, I got to a point where I was just like, fuck homework, right? And, like, so what they used to do is that for every homework assignment that you miss, like, you have to fill out a form that says your child missed homework on this day, and then the parent has to sign off on it, and then bring it back to school. So I looked at my dad's signature, and I forged his signature for like 3 months straight, and like eventually they started calling home because nothing was changing because I just wasn't doing homework, and then that's when they found out, and then so I got brought into the principal's office with them.
Wait, what tempted you to just not do the goddamn work?
Bro, I was watching Dragon Ball Z, bro. Like, fuck that. Like, I was just like, nigga, I want to draw and watch Dragon Ball, Toonami. Like, I didn't care about homework, bro.
No.
And like, and then they brought me to the principal's office because they're just like, well, you realize that you can go to juvie for this. Forging signatures is a federal crime. And like, and my parents were just like, what? Like, so that was another epic ass beating. Not as bad as the stealing one, but
I think the stealing one was worse because he was sitting there whooping ass, expecting all of a sudden that shit just didn't sound right, and he just goes in.
Yeah, like because you could hear like the padding when the belt hit the back of my like legs and like ass area, and you could hear the padding because I stuffed it, bro. And then it's just like, oh really? And then he just pulls off it up, block this one, block that one, block this one, and like bro, like start hitting me in my back and shit, like down to my lower legs and all that, like just making sure anywhere that would hurt. Anywhere that would hurt, bro.
Yo, imagine him telling this story to his friends. So, man, I'm whooping my son's ass, right? This motherfucker stole something. This is supposed to be just a regular routine ass whooping. All right. I waited till he went to sleep so I can wake his ass up and then, get the lesson across. So I'm whooping, but something don't seem right. I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. It's not tap, 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 tap. It's boom, boom. It's just, ow, ow, ow. And I was like, the fuck? So I reach down, I pull out a fucking sock. And then I look again. This motherfucker has on 3 pairs of pants.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
I about killed that boy.
bro, exactly, dude. Like, cause like, dude, I'm telling you, I used my powers for evil. Like, I was a smart kid and I used every advantage I possibly could to like get stuff over on whoever I could, bro. Because like I was super short and like skinny and stuff like that. So like I wasn't like a jock kid, even though I like tried to play sports. I could play basketball and soccer and stuff, but like I was like a little kid. So like I was just like, I need to be smarter than everybody. You know what I mean? So I did a lot of shit to like fucking outsmart people. And like, so it's just like, well, I'm gonna get what I want, and how am I gonna do it? And so I just start trying to figure out plans in order to be able to do shit. Okay, I think we're a little bit off subject.
I mean,
but
come on, that was a good story.
yeah, I mean, it was like, honestly, I'm gonna have to bring it up with my dad again, because I wonder if he actually remembers that. Like he probably, because
he just probably tightens around his belt just and remembers.
Yeah, getting PTSD from how angry he was. He just starts looking for belt-shaped objects to grab. Like, bro, yeah, that was yeah, like I'll never forget that one. Because he just kept repeating. He was like, block this one, block that one, block that one, block this one, and like, and I'm literally just thinking.
Your mom was sitting there thinking she was sitting there cooking and shit like that, cleaning the dishes. Block this one, block that one, block this one, block that one. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get through this beating. You know what I mean? And I was selling it too. Like I was giving an Oscar-worthy performance up until he figured it out based off of the sound. Because I was still yelling. I was still going like, ah, ah, ah! But it wasn't as bad because I had all the extra padding.
No, it's funny.
So like,
your pitch and your tone was just probably like the same as like, ah, 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 ah.
Yeah.
Like doing like some hits don't hurt as bad, but like, oh, oh.
yeah.
He's like, the fuck, this shit is all the same goddamn pitch.
But like he just immediately, after about like 4 or 5 hits, he was just like, wait a minute. But like, because the sound was off. He'd beaten me so many times, I'm sure that he just knew. Like after a few of them, just like, wait, this ain't right. You're like, you did what? Like, block this. Like, bro, like, Nick, oh my God, it was bad. I deserved it.
Hey, look, man.
I was a little shit, man.
I mean, did that ever stop you from giving in to temptation before? Or did it just make you, if you were tempted by something, you was like, let me have a better getaway plan?
It was actually closer to the second one. Like, so I did get detoured. Yeah, like I did get detoured from stealing because the ass whooping was so epic. You know what I mean? That I was just like, I cannot get caught like that again.
It
but
wasn't even that. I think it was just the audacity for you to try that shit. You'd be like, oh hell.
Hey man, like I was a smart kid, and like I was gonna get through this one way or another. I was imagining death, so I gotta figure out how to not die. And like,
I say, do you think temptation is worse for people who are on a higher end of cleverness? I'm not gonna say smart, because everybody's smart, but like clever, being clever on the other hand, like
sneaky, conniving.
That's not exactly sneaking or conniving, unless you just, okay,
I was being sneaky. I was being sneaky, man. Like I was a sneak. And like I would say that the temptation is higher because as soon as you start getting away with stuff, and then you kind of like, as a kid, I started to realize like the holes in people's perception, right? Like where it's just like, oh, okay, well, like
it's like the old school Metal Gear or any of the Metal Gear games where you can see like their cone of vision,
right?
And you see the gaps in there. It's like, I can exploit this, I can exploit that, I can exploit this.
Oh yeah, like because like I'm telling once again, guys, I'm telling you, it wasn't necessarily using my powers for evil, but it was using my powers in a dishonest way. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, well, I noticed that, okay, my parents' schedule is this. And so if I'm back home by this time, I can not have to just come straight home after school. I can go hang out with my friends, come back here about 15 minutes earlier than they get here. Everything will be cool. You know what I mean?
Hey, they show up early.
One day they did. and once again, bro, like I got so many goddamn
stupid.
Exactly. I got so many goddamn beatings as a kid, bro, because I just kept trying shit.
Yo, I like how you never gave up.
I did not give up. Never give up on your dreams, guys. You know what I mean? Because like, and like that started translating into other things later, where it's just like, okay, like if a person has a certain train of thought, or a familiarity pattern, if you go directly opposite to that, once you've established a pattern, they don't even notice because they would never suspect you of being that person because you've established in their mind who you are. So when you eventually go completely left, they're like, there's no way he did that. There's no way. I don't believe you. I got my brother in trouble so many times like that, bro. I would blame him for shit that I did. And then because he was a bad liar, I was just like, no, he did it. He did it. They're like, he was like, no, he's lying. And it was just like, Shannon doesn't lie about things like this. And I'm just like, wait, I got something for that one, bro.
The temptation was
like, bro, like,
I can get away with this shit. It's like, if I tell it this way, I can get away with it. I don't get in trouble, and then pass the buck off on somebody else.
Yeah, dude,
So
I'm telling you, bro. Like, I was really like that, man.
So it's that temptation 4, honesty 0.
Bro, and like it is. Let's put it this way. Like, I was honest because I had to be, but when I got a chance to be dishonest, I took the opportunity. And since I had such a high track record of honesty, no one believed when I was dishonest. They didn't even believe it. They couldn't.
Yeah, I know that technique.
Dude, like it's congruent. And I learned this shit as like a little kid. You know what I mean? Just through like trial and error. And then I was just like, I can just get away with whatever the fuck I want to get away with.
That's all kids though. That's pretty much all
yeah, you know,
kids.
yeah,
That's
like kids do experiment like
that's
that.
That's even dogs. My dog's attempted. So I'll be sitting there cooking some shit, right? Like today I was cooking some chicken. I was gonna I took 2 pieces of chicken, right? Little chicken breast. I took one for me, and I was like, I need to feed my dogs more. So up their food intake, so one dog can stop eating shit. Cause I'm figuring like this motherfucker's eating shit, not wet shit, like dry shit. It's pissing me off, man. This shit's so annoying.
He's just eating shit.
It's like we'd be in the park and I used to be like crunch. I used to think it was like twigs or some shit. Cause at the old house, back up, it'd be like a fucking tree branches and shit like that, and I'm like, all right, trying to stop. I thought he was just eating twigs, and come to find out with a close look, I was like, oh, motherfucker,
bro. That's so fucking gross, bro. Yeah. Why did dogs do that? I heard about that. Like you have to keep your dogs away from kitty litter because they'll just start eating the cat shit. Yeah. It's just like, what are you smelling in that you think you can eat?
It's like unprocessed food, or maybe they just going hungry. So I think what it is now is that they were bigger, they're older, and I was usually just going by the regiment that my girl had for them, so the regiment she had for her, but then we just figured out, all right, we need to increase their food intake so that way
they don't want to eat shit.
Solve the hunger problem. They're not as hungry. They're not hungry. We increase the intake and we increase the frequency. Then that should mitigate the fucking eating of the shit part. Because he's like, motherfucker, I'm eating chicken. Fuck, seasoned chicken.
Bro, like, did it work?
All right. Yeah, so here we go. I think it did.
Okay.
So I'm cooking chicken. So I'm cooking the chicken and everything like that. And all of a sudden, you know, these 2 motherfuckers are sneaky. So Tenzin, his ass will do some shit right in your damn face until you correct him. And Benny, he'd be like, I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. And they left the room.
Yeah, bro. Like, yo, I had a dog like that too. Shout out to my old dog Jackal. Yes. Sorry.
Motherfuckers are just like children, just cunning and just clever.
Like, yeah, he would do that. Like, basically, like, when he was a puppy, and like me and my brother be like playing with him in the garage. Like, it's cold, so like we had him sleep in the garage or whatever because it was like winter. And like he'd be totally fine while we were in there. As soon as we left, within like 15 minutes, just starts jumping up, pulling shit off the shelves, bro. He demolished the entire fucking garage. Anything that he could jump up to, and he could jump really high, he pulled everything off of the fucking shelves. The entire garage completely trashed from top to bottom, bro. Like, and I'm talking, and like, so we wake up the next day, and then my dad is yelling. You know what I mean? He's like, what happened? Like, and then the dog is just like, I did good, right? And like, it's just like, you little shit. And then so what we had to start doing, we had to build higher shelves in the garage so that he couldn't get to it, because every night he would pull down anything he could reach and just start chewing on it and just eating it. Like I'm just like, bro, like, this is why I told you I didn't want a dog, man. Like, because now I have to clean it up. You know what I mean? Like, I was just, yeah, that was.
So it's like you try to put somebody in a box on a schedule and a certain pattern, like a certain routine you want them to follow, and they go, they think this routine is good for me, but I think I want to do something else.
Right.
It looks so very well temptatious just to
Tempting.
do something else. Like, not show up home when I'm supposed to be at home. Because I did that shit like, fuck it, man. If I could sneak out the goddamn house, I was like, shit, my mother's father was watching us for a summer. And I just met the man this summer. And then I would notice, I'm like, okay, he's a heavy sleeper. Mom's out. He's heavy sleeping. Shit, crack open his window. We out this bitch.
Yeah,
run
man.
around the neighborhood at fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo. Cops
wait.
is coming. Duck down behind the bushes. Is
Yes!
that a car? Duck behind the bushes. Freeze. Hide behind the trees. We sitting there playing basketball in the park.
Run.
Hanging out with and shit like that. Yeah, that shit was hella fun and everything like that. Because you thought you can get away with it. The tempting part is, can I get away with it? And if the answer is yes,
Yeah, dude. Like I'm a much better a much more honest person now in my life than I used to be, man. Like,
we're adults, we got older. We
yeah, like I had my fun, you know. But yeah, like I think that it's just like I don't even know, like when you're a kid like that, if it even qualifies as temptation, right? Because just like you said, I mean, kids just experiment. Like they just do shit and then just try to figure out what'll happen. And there were just so many holes that I exploited. I was just like, well, there's a hole, there's a hole. I could do this, I could do that, I could do that. And then, you know, eventually the inevitable ass whooping would come down, and then that would start to deter my behavior, but then I just find something else that I could exploit. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Like, there was this thing on Quora, I read this thing. It's like, what is one of the life lessons that you learn now as an adult? And this guy answered, he says, the things that we ended up punishing kids for was the things that kids are supposed to do.
Who was it that said that?
I don't know. It's like we were punishing kids.
I heard
for
that
pretty
recently
much being
too.
Kids, and it's like like shit. We want kids to be somewhere within our range of control and not being annoying. It's like me with my dogs. It's like I want you to be within my range of control and not fucking with shit.
Right.
Just sit down, go to sleep. But they're like, nah, dog. We want to play. We want to do this. We want to do that. We got energy. So same thing with kids. Somebody be like, you comparing kids to dogs? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not comparing the motherfuckers to cats.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, when your kid does something wrong, he gets a spanking. My dog do something wrong, I gotta put him down. Stakes are raised.
I put my dog down. Fuck you.
Like,
But it's like as an adult, so we have temptations too, right? But we all flirt that line of this is tempting. It's like adult guys who create with adultery, right? Adultery, or they cheat. Same shit. So they cheat. It's like, ooh, this chick is bad. Can I get away with it? Or your girl's like, this motherfucker don't pay attention to me like that. I can get away with this shit. Something like that, right? And it's just like, can I have this? It's not that saying, you can have your cake and eat it too. No, you can have your cake and you can eat more cake. Even though you would eat your cake is done, and then you would go for another piece of cake, and your parents be like, that's enough cake. It's not you can have your cake and eat it too. It's usually you can have your cake and then there's still cake on the table. You can go grab for another slice.
right. Yeah, I see you on that one. And, like, by the way, like, I think that it's pretty well understood that, like, women are way better at cheating than guys. But that's neither here nor there. I think that, like, in the context of a marriage, right? Especially, like, legal marriage here in America, right? You can only classify it as temptation.
Wait, what about in France? Because in France, they cheat like a motherfucker.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know the French law behind marriage. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know what their policies are like.
Still same thing, divorces and shit like that.
I mean, like, is it still like, alimony and separation payments and child support and all that type of stuff?
I'm not sure about that one, but I know French motherfuckers. Ooh, la 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 la, mi amor, Them motherfuckers is
Me frog leg, yes.
motherfuckers is cheating left and goddamn right. Them, the goddamn Italians.
Well, okay, so like I would think that like, so this is an interesting one because it kind of depends on the context of your relationship, right? So if we're talking about just like standard by the book marriage in this country, in the United States of America, with all of the fucking legal ramifications behind what can happen if either one of you commit adultery, right? But the laws are a little bit different for women, so, you know, shout out to women having more rights than guys, that a woman can actually commit adultery, file for divorce first, and then you're still fucked as a guy. Remember that, guys. My thing is that, like, when it comes to the whole marriage thing, it's like there's super like layers to it, right? So if you see, this is the problem, okay? Like, so guys who are in relationships, are married, are, for whatever reason, maybe you can call it the competition principle, whatever, are more attractive to women. So if a woman knows that you're married, unfortunately, she's more likely to flirt with you harder than if you were single.
Because,
And go ahead.
Because some girl already picked you and vetted you out.
Yep, exactly, bro.
Okay.
It confirms that you're getting pussy, bro. So she's just like, what is it about him? To where she would not only marry him, marriage means that she would let him shoot up the club, which is a biological imperative, meaning that he fucks. Like,
he's safe.
Well, I mean, it may not necessarily be safe. It could just be like desirable, you know, because otherwise you wouldn't have the proverbial, what people call Pookie and Ray Ray type, just like super thug, like, and then he has like 12 baby mamas.
Ain't that goddamn stereotype? I think we gonna need some new shit up in there.
Yeah, no, that's for lack of a better term.
Like,
I just say super thug because, like, you know, like, and they got like 12 baby mamas. He is not a safe person, but he's fucking all these hoes, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wait. What are the
shout out to you.
What are the quality of those women? It'd be another question, but I'll save that question. I'll put
Animalistic.
Animalistic. That one. So we'll revert it back to the part where a girl wants a guy that another girl already picked and vetted. So this girl already took the risk of vetting this guy, felt comfortable enough, and then boom, secured this guy. They got into this relationship, and therefore she thinks if she can tempt this guy, take him, and then
it puts a notch on her belt, and she may not even want to stay with that guy. Yeah. She just wants to know that she can take that man from the other woman.
But no, it's like this. Somebody else already took the risk. It's like what is like a massive it's like a multiplayer game or some shit like that, and then
what? Which one?
Or it's like so you're playing the game,
World of Warcraft.
Maybe, okay, World of Warcraft. I never played World of Warcraft. I think that example can apply.
Okay.
It'll go, so you got this character, this dude right here. He goes into this fucking cave. He's level 160, and he's been murking a lot of motherfuckers over here for a while. So he's been just rolling behind his back and shit like that, and taking out the weaklings or when they're at lower health. Cool. This motherfucker goes in his caves and gets one-shotted. And do you believe that cave is safe?
You stupid.
No.
Or do you go to fuck back somewhere else and go like, let me go build back up? Because that nigga was 160, I'm 130, and he got one-shotted.
Bro, like,
that cave is not safe.
And like, yeah, like that's a good example, because years and years and years ago, like, I did try out World of Warcraft, and it's exactly what he's saying. You'll come up to a certain area, and you'll see a dead body in the middle of the road. And then you check his level. I'm level 35. He's level 59, and he's dead right now. And like, so at that point, I'm like,
what is that? Help me!
And then, like, of course, right on time, what just killed that motherfucker? Some giant bird creature just comes out of the fucking forest, because aggro, like, if the weaker you are, the bigger target you are. So, like, something that normally, if you were at its level, it wouldn't even be able to detect you. Because you're so weak, it's almost like he sees you like food. So he smells you from a long distance, and you don't know he's on the way. You're just looking at the body, like, oh shit, I need to get out of here. Boom, 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 and one shot, and then you're dead, and you can't recover your shit because he's literally just standing over your body, and you can't go back to try to revive yourself because you'll get insta killed again. And like, so but yeah, go ahead.
So you see somebody else already test out the territory, test out the unknowns of something, of an area or a person like that, and then when a girl can be, another woman can vouch for this motherfucker, other women can feel a little bit more, okay, he's safer, so all I gotta do is do more than she's doing and take him from her, and then I got a secure guy that another woman wants, and he's already been vetted. Now with this story, it goes, I was watching the Roommates podcast, and they had Jordan Peterson on today.
Shout out, man. I love Jordan Peterson, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Jordan Peterson, Hafiz, and Krista started the show, baby. So shout out to the Roommates podcast for that episode too. So and Jordan goes, and then Fee's like talking about how women are picky like that. They have these standards and they're picky. And then Jordan goes, he says, yeah, you know why they're picky? Because they're right.
He's right, because but that's why there's two different mating strategies for females. Shout out to also Rolo Tomasi. He says alpha fucks, beta bucks, right? So on a raw physical level in attraction, women will pre-select you to have sex with, right? If you are physically appealing, you just get her engine going, right? Make her quiver, give her the tingles, whatever. Then she will fuck you if you approach her. But on the other side, the resources and support and safety side, that's why in her youth, she'll fuck someone who's more physically imposing or whatever, because that's literally just the natural animal. But then after a certain age, she starts thinking about okay, well, I want to have kids. Is this going to be a stable environment? How are we going to get from A to B? Right? Is this so she'll marry the beta guy because he's a provider and he's safe, but then she's gonna get some side dick from the other guy because he just does it for her. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
All right, so I think,
and I don't even think that's considered temptation, really, because women just act so naturally on their instincts. I don't even think it's necessarily malicious. There are some malicious girls, but generally I don't think so. Right. Personally.
So I think we had a puzzle just got misconfigured. So I go back to when he said, Jordan Peterson on the podcast, when he said they're right to be picky, because here's how it happens right here, right?
Right.
So for example, for women, you date a woman, you talk to a woman, try to game up a woman, you try to talk to a woman, initiate contact.
Yeah, it was good, shorty. You looking good, shorty. Right? Yeah, it was good.
Now, what happens is, if they pick wrong, they get knocked up by the wrong guy. They get
which happens very often.
I know there's the Pookies and the Ray Rays, there's the stereotype or the Chads.
Not even them. I think it's just if sometimes women, just like guys are just led by their vaginas, and she'll just let a nigga shoot up the club, and then think about it when it's too late.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So just wear a condom, please.
There was this other episode where where the roommates, they had on these other two women in there, and they had these high ass standards list: 6 figures, 6 foot, 6 this right here.
Yep. 6 pack, 6 figures, 6
and then
foot.
A lot of dating coaches, the most recent one was Rebecca Lynn Pope. She quit because women had these high ass standards.
Shout out to Rebecca Lynn Pope.
Where they were at, and then there was another fucking woman dating coach who she quit too. But it's what Jordan Peterson said. He says they're right when they're picky. They're right because they carry the responsibility of that choice of who they pick as a mate. Now, if they just of course, the Pookie and Ray Ray presents that thing where they're dangerous. They can think they can acquire resources or some shit like that. It may be just due to. When we say Pookie and Ray Ray, that's not our most highest of quality. That's more of our most uneducated, unresourceful. It's basically somebody who's chosen the thug life. That's the way I've always interpreted it. Okay,
is that like he looks good physically because black niggas just be ripped all the time for no fucking reason. But he's also a thug, so there's an element of danger, and he also is literally there's a certain level of dominance that a lot of guys like that have because of the life that they live. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that that's the measure of dominance, but it's a form of it that comes in that triggers. It comes from a place of almost aggression, but not necessarily. It's something that literally, I'm telling you, it's just primal. Is something that taps into the animal that a woman is, because he's being more like the animal that a man is, because once again, maybe lack of education, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I would say the poopy.
Wait, I got something for that. The poopy and Ray Ray.
Okay, so I think the Pookie and Ray Ray dynamic, it would be look, so the thug dynamic is just more based off of knowledge. What does the woman know? I mean, what does the person know? like if you are pretty much educated and you actually start figuring out the education, like you know the world a little bit. That's why a lot of women require a guy to have bachelors or something like that. See, the most primal instinct is to go with the biggest, buffest, baddest, most tattooed up guys, and that's why the most weak, most low, most probably I do not want to say low quality, low levels like that, or most uneducated. They would just go with the most primal, right? The most least modernized. I'll say least modernized.
What gives her the vagina tingles? What when she looks at him, she says, Wait, no, I got
wait. That could be for intimacy. That could be just for.
Oh yeah.
That could be just for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but this can't be the thing where you will want to procreate this motherfucker. This motherfucker just want to have fun. But like the person of you want to continue on to a level and build a fucking family with there, you want them of a higher standard in education. That's why you want a 6-figure, 6 feet tall, 6 something with a bachelor's of education and some shit like that. Like it's
status, clout, power.
Because they gotta be the one to carry the kids. They gotta be the one to carry the kids. And luckily with today's, well, thanks to Lyndon B. Johnson and what was that? The Great, whatever the fuck, the Great Society Initiative, shit like that, where the government stepped in
the 60s
and was able to provide the resources right now. So for the basics, at least if they get knocked up, even by the most shittiest quality of guy, they can get the resources to take care of themselves and the kids from the government. So they're cool with that. But then if they wanna, with the modern times, thanks to rap, it's pretty much, it's only thanks to rap. Thanks to rap and like movies and shit like that, but especially rap, when they figured out there's a higher quality standard of guy out there, or other shit like 6 figures, bachelors or some shit like that, 6 with a degree, or making a shit ton of money and living a lifestyle. So they figured there's a higher level of lifestyle. Once they figured out there is, and they go for that. Because like, why would I settle for? Because not all the girls, trust me, like you ever listen to Fresh and Fit shows, like all those fine ass chicks, like that, they'll have fun with a motherfucker, but they will not sit down and settle with a motherfucker. And when they know there's a better dude out there.
But they're all chasing the same guy, right? And then that's why I'm sure you've heard of the the educated thug or the gangster romantic. You know what I mean? Like they want both of those things in one package, but they don't exist in the same guy typically. So that's why, shout out to Kevin Samuels, who basically said that women today typically are actually have Frankenstein relationships with guys. So she'll have one guy for money. She'll have one guy who buys her food. She'll have one guy who blows her back out. She'll have one guy who she thinks that she can settle down with after she's had her fun and gotten old. And so she has all of these different guys positioned. The dating game as it exists today, and this is pretty much men's fault for the most part, is the way that a lot of women can have their cake and eat it too. They can fuck who they want and then settle with who they want. But now things are changing to where even the guys who normally would settle with a lot of women, they're going like, why would I, take the leftovers at this point? You know what I'm saying?
I say we need to change that damn cake and eat it too analogy. Throw that one the fuck out the window. It worked so far, but I think it's just an incorrect analogy because it's
just something that everybody knows.
I'll put it like this: where'd you get the cake from? You got the cake.
So you're gonna break down the cake. All right.
You cut a piece of cake and you got this cake. It's on your plate. This is your cake, and you eat your cake, and then you look where you got your cake from, and it's like, holy shit, there's still cake there.
There's a whole other cake.
This could be somebody else's cake, but nobody's claiming this shit, so I'm gonna give me another piece. I think it'd be more like that, but
you're right. That actually is more accurate. I don't know why that phrase exists the way it does, but go ahead.
So to be like, I think that phrase exists because it's a magical genie. You can eat your cake. I wish I had more cake. I wish I had more cake.
And honestly, if you're a woman between the ages of 18 and 27, you have unlimited cake. You know what I mean? In between those years, typically. You have the most cake you will ever have in your entire life, and it's so abundant. It's so abundant. The options are so abundant that now it's the paradox of choice. You know what I mean? In my opinion. What do you think? Do you think? Yeah.
All right. See. All right.
Yo, I didn't start really getting my cake till I turned 27. Jesus.
So when I got that hall pass, And I was just running through the hallways looking through different classrooms like, oh, what's in this classroom? What's in this classroom? What's in this classroom? What's in this? Oh, that's a janitor's closet. Fuck.
You stupid.
No.
But then it's like I was looking through the app. I'm sitting there like a lot of gorgeous girls, but I'm like I'm 30 years old and I seen like, dang, she look good. And I'm like, dang, she look good. And I was like, oh, that's a 20-year-old. I was like, ew, go that way. Oh. I'm not ill like ills, and I'm just like I can't deal with no young girls. I need somebody that's older, mature, and got life experience. Now, if somebody got life experience and they kept in good shape and they kept up they didn't make too many fucked up decisions in life like that, I like an older chick, kept in shape, and shit, hell, just kept in shape in his own shit. Maybe she can have a kid or no kids, like a 30. If I was single again, I'll say my preference would be like 28 to 33, with in shape, no kids, or some shit like that. Cause that's perfect. That's life experience right there.
This could be a whole episode in itself.
Because you're tempted by the younger chick because she's young, beauty, youthful. But I'm like, fuck that shit. I need my chick to have some goddamn experience and some goddamn common sense.
But okay.
Or like experience enough to know. To be able to cut out bullshit. I need her to be able to cut out bullshit.
It depends. So
not be tempted just because.
It really depends because like depending on the culture that she was raised with, if it's the typical American girl now, bro, you better hope that she's smart. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because like and not gotten diseases, not gotten kids by now by the time that you got her, stayed in shape, like what you're saying, hopefully learn from her mistakes, because it is fucking blood sport out here right now, dude. And it's because like they have too many options. Like dude, imagine, like, I don't know if you guys know anything about sales, but you don't sell somebody a car by making them choose between all the cars. You give them 2 at the most 3 options, because if there's too many choices, they won't choose. And so what winds up happening is, this is why the upbringing is very important, because if you're just a woman out here who doesn't have a plan and you're just out here living your best life, hey, party at the club, on the ground, and you're just fucking mad niggas, there's something that you guys are going to have to look up. There's a term called microchimerism. You better hope that she has been wrapping it up. But of course, we all know that everybody winds up hitting it raw eventually. Unfortunately, women are not built to have crazy amounts of sexual partners like guys are. Right. There's a mental component that will literally cripple them at some point. Even pimps talk about this, bro. Pimps understand that even if you have the most dedicated hoe, she has a shelf life of no longer than 4 years. After a certain amount of guys, their mind snaps.
They gotta get out of that game early. That's why there was this one dude that had a secret brothel going on, and then he would hire like, look, college girls, like, look, you need to do this, but you only can do this for
2 years, bro. 2 years max.
And have a detrimental effect on mentality. But now we're gonna switch over. So we need to add a segment to it called Homegirl Etiquette, because Homegirl Advocate. So I'll play Homegirl Advocate, so the Devil Advocate, Homegirl Advocate, right? So we talk about like the temptations with women here, but the temptation with a guy is, here you go. So we get older, we make more money like that, but we always had a temptation of going for the younger, prettier girl, right? But we know younger, prettier girls like that fast life and like that fun things. As we get older, we are moving more slower and slower like that. So say you got an educated woman here, she's older, she's more experienced, no kids, and then even if she does have a high body count history or something like that, say you have a high body count history, but it's not
the same.
It's not confirmable. But she got to this point, and stayed safe, and she's educated and looks good right now. So what's stopping you? Why would you go for the 22-year-old inexperienced chick versus the 29 to 33-year-old range?
Because I'm a firm believer that you have to customize your woman for you. You have to customize your woman for you. And the older she gets, the more mileage she gets, the harder it becomes for her to pair bond. So is it doable with an older woman? Sure. Right. Is it easier? Fuck no. like but
she has experience. She's experienced that. She's looked around, saw the environment, saw her friends do things like that too. See, I had a period in time when I dated just older women, just really twice my age when I was in my 20s, and it's like
I dated a woman who was like 20 years older than me once.
Yeah, and it's like the great thing I liked about them was it was experience. It was less bullshit of it all. And I figured, I was like, man, if I was your age or if you had this experience and you was my age, I would have. This would be a long-term relationship here instead of just having fun right now as a fling. Now, would you want that young, hot 22-year-old just like anybody else does when you about in your 30s, 35, she's 22, and then you're gonna think she's gonna be around there for the long run, but she doesn't have that experience. She's still out here having fun with her friends versus just that chick that's kind of your age, your experience, and it's more typically seem like it's your speed, but you're tempted by the youth and the beauty.
Well, the reason why I still choose younger is because like you have to factor. Well, it depends on what you want, right? So with me, I want kids. You know what I mean? After a certain age, after like what is it? As soon as you start to hit the age of 30, you start to go into high risk pregnancy and geriatric pregnancy.
That's true, but due to medical advancement today, a lot of women can have children in their late 30s, even though it's still difficult to conceive because we had a friend and it took him a while to conceive. And they finally were able to do it, and they was able to do it twice. But conceiving a child is definitely a difficult thing because there's a lot of other factors into it.
It's the most dangerous thing a woman can do. And like, but on top of that, the older she is, the higher the probability of having birth defects and problems with the child itself.
But the birth defects come from our chromosomes because we only come if it depends.
That's not always true because like once they hit a certain age, dude, I'm telling you, like the protein, like that's why the geriatric pregnancy makes it so it's a problem on both ends.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sperm
Like
gets older and it can be defective, and especially if it's a boy, because boys only have one X chromosome and a Y chromosome, and usually all the detrimental shit happens to the X chromosome. And if you're a guy, if you're born a male and you only have an X chromosome, that one X chromosome, you're more likely to be born fucked up. And then if you're a girl and you have two X chromosomes, one could be messed up and the other could be fine, and you could come out as a normal person. So,
I mean, but the numbers don't support that. There are just as many, if not more, like problematic females than there are guys.
I mean,
when it comes to birth defects, mental problems, all types of shit.
I think the most mental issues that come is just due to more social constraints, and it's usually not social constraints, but it comes
really
in life, development in life. But like I'm talking about straight from the start, coming out the womb. As a guy with an XY chromosome,
I'm gonna have to look up the numbers to confirm this, man.
Like
I'm gonna have to really research that.
So coming as a guy, straight from birth, straight from conception, as an XY, when it figured out that you're a male, you have an X and a Y chromosome, and most of the fucked up shit happens on the X chromosome. And the thing that
which is the woman.
No. We give the chromosomes. They automatically give the X.
Yeah,
chromosome.
like exactly.
Right.
So they have the X, and we give the Y. Like if
we give either an
X or a Y, yeah.
And as a guy, that means you're an XY chromosome. And then as a female, it's XX chromosome. So if you have a fucked up X over here, this X could back up that other X and then level everything out, and you still come out functionally normal. You come as a carrier of a trait or some shit, but you're not exactly affected by the expression of that trait. Now, if you're a guy and this is your only X chromosome, and you have this certain fucking chromosome, that's fucked up here, and you don't have another X chromosome to offset that one and even that shit out, you're more likely to develop autism and all that other fucked up shit that happens from birth.
I mean, once again, I'm gonna have to research more into that because, like for example, like I know people who come from families where it's literally just like 80% women. You know what I mean? Hardly any guys, and then there's like genetic, mental and physical ailments like genetically passed down, and like that a lot of them have.
Why?
You know what I mean? Like,
so would be bipolar. Bipolar is just
bipolar, schizophrenia, anxiety, depression, like all.
Anxiety, depression is just two things. All right,
that's something that can be induced by society and your stresses. Yeah, mm-hmm. I can totally understand that because like I was actually diagnosed with depression when I was 16.
They handed out depression like candy because they can sell a lot of pharmaceuticals.
No, my dad's a therapist, and he was just like, I need you to understand that you have depression, and like I had a choice to make if I want to get on medication or not. I chose not to do it
because you can do things to change up your depression. You just gotta switch.
I reprogrammed the entire way I thought. Mm-hmm. Like, Yep. It took years.
Well, okay.
But
But the temptation on the part.
We got to wrap it up.
So being a homegirl advocate here is like, look, Jordan Peterson was right when Fee said he was like, he says like women are too picky. Jordan Peterson like they're right to be picky. They carry child for 9 months. If you carry the child for 9 months, for instance, here it goes. Our alternative to that as males, which is not as dire, is that because we can still make a different amount of money is when it comes down to marriage. So when it comes down to marriage, like
we control relationships.
We worked up all this damn time to make all this goddamn money here, right? Say you now are worth about $4 million here, and you're picking a chick that works at Starbucks, or you picking a chick that's a fucking partner as an attorney, or you picking this chick that's a fucking chemical engineer for this fucking pharmaceutical company here and there. It can make a shit ton of money, but you're making more money than her. And if you guys were to divorce, it would take all your assets, everything you got, and then it would split it down the fucking middle. If there's any fucking unevenness right there, you will pay the unevenness shared or whoever make more like that for a certain time period. So that's where our risk is in marriage. But when it comes down to the primary initial part of mating, women carry the most risk out of it all because of pregnancy.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So
I agree.
If women are picky and they want the best of the goddamn best, is because they carry the higher risk of it. Because if you pick shitty ass Pookie, Tyrone, Chad, or some shit like that, you're not gonna be able to get a fucking Greg or what's Kevin Samuels said, you're not gonna be able to get a fucking Henry. Yeah. Because if you fuck with Pookie and Ray Ray and you don't get pregnant and you just got your back blown out bomb and you clean and you straight years later and you still meet a Henry. Oh yeah. Shit, y'all can still walk down the fucking aisle, have some kids, and you can still have a good goddamn life. But if you get it pregnant bomb, get a permanent a terminal STD.
Wrap it up, ladies.
My bad. You get a terminal STD from them, then your shit is fucked up and your survival rate is fucked for a long damn time, and you got to depend on daddy government, which is a lower quality of life. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a sustainable quality of life, but it is a lower quality of life as if she would have been clean, no kids, met a Henry, and then have a higher quality of life where she driving some Jaguar SUV.
Which I totally agree with everything you just said. It's just, that's why I said before, when it comes to females, it really comes down to how she was raised, because without a clear, honest, just truthful discussion about what it means to be a woman, what a guy is, what a woman is, what relationships really are, how seriously you need to take it. If she's just out here, then she's gonna let a random guy like that just shoot up the club just because it feels good.
I think that's an assumption we make.
We're seeing it. Okay. You know why I know it's a fact? Because, shout out to Kevin Samuels again, because 80% of the women in our community, 80% of the children born in our community are born to single mothers.
I thought it was 60% to 63%.
80%. 80% of the children in the black community are born to single mothers.
And statistic is opposed to correct statistic on the video.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna put it up there. It's 80%. Like you can find it on blackdemographics.com.
Okay, we'll do that.
And then but I'll put it up on screen anyway. And on top of that, only 17% of the men in the black community are impregnating 100% of the women that are getting pregnant. Meaning that
I thought it was like 49%, 48%.
So for guys in general, yes, it's about what, 45? So it was like but I'm talking about black community specifically. In the black community, it's 17% of us that are impregnating all of those women.
We don't need to pull up those statistics. Maybe have to show that shit on screen.
No, I'll put everything on screen. And like I said, shout out to blackdemographics.com. Yo, like these sound crazy until you look at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, people can, statistics can be manipulated. Well, supposedly, blackdemographics.com is black statistics by black people for black people. And it's to show people the dire situation that the black community is in. Like, nothing against any other race of people. I love y'all, all right? But
even though the same primal instincts always apply, we call it race to separate the divide, but it applies all across the goddamn board. You're fucking
you got Chad over here who literally is like built like a Greek god, and he's knocking up bitches too. He doesn't even have to be smart, because there's a certain level, and I've experienced this, bro, too many times. Too many times when I would be like smashing a girl and she's so in the moment. Do you have any idea how many times I've heard the phrase, "Come inside me, daddy, please"?
Wait.
And sometimes if the guy is weak, he'll just do it.
I got an equivalent. You ever seen that movie Casino?
Casino.
With Robert De Niro?
That's an older movie, but
Casino with Robert De Niro, who's a successful ass mobster, bookie, accountant guy, money like a motherfucker, and his wife Ginger, I think his name is Ginger or Bridget, and then she's so in love with this drug addict loser motherfucker, and this dude is highly successful, highly fucking dangerous, but she keeps running back to this drug addict loser fucking dealer motherfucker right there. Watch that movie right there. But anyway, so to wrap it up, give you a monologue right here. So I'm gonna ask you this question, that way we can end it off on this one right here. So we talking about women here a lot right here. I'm trying to be homegirl advocate, so being a homegirl advocate. So we can get homegirl etiquette started, and then we can bring the homegirls in here to argue their part, and therefore it's not so one-sided.
Like, and that's why I try to be fair about it. You know what I mean? Like, I just try to go off the statistics that I know. I do have some personal experiences. I try not to be biased, but it is what it is.
You gotta remember that classic saying: "There's 3 lies in life: lies, damn lies, and statistics."
Exactly. Right.
So for this one right here, so you have a daughter. Mm-hmm. How do you tell your daughter to? How do you coach your daughter through just nature? So it's still nature. Nature's been around forever. We're still fighting up against nature when we talk about Chad, Tyrone's, the Pookies, the Chatme, or that guy from fucking like the dangerous guy. Something like that to feel safe. You're trying to tell her to go with a safer option because we know that's the nurturing getting us to go with the safer option. But the nature part of it is she's attracted to this guy right here. She likes him more, even though for the long-term future and the safer, secure bet, guaranteed would be this person right here. But she just doesn't have that track. So how would you coach your daughter to get over the temptation of the fuzzy wuzzies, the butterflies?
Oh Lord.
And to go with something that she's not getting the butterflies for. This guy is just a nice guy. He's safe. He's a safer option for her. It's better to build with this person, but there's a temptation because there's an attractiveness to this other person. Person you're not attracted to, person you're attracted to. So how do you help her? What would you coach her to do to get over that temptation? Like as if you're talking to her now from the past to the future, like we're not going to be there.
Since we're pretty much out of time, I'll give you the shortest answer possible.
Get the greatest answer you can get possible.
Well, yeah, because I've actually had this exact conversation before.
What you got?
Tell her the truth. Tell her the exact truth.
What's the truth?
Okay.
She's 17.
Oh, no, because you have to inform a girl about these things the second she gets her period.
What would you inform her of?
Okay, well, one, you have to have the talk. You're just like, okay, you now have the potential to have children.
Okay. That
your life is now serious from now until the age of 25. In terms of, you have to be thinking about what you're about to go through is going to define the rest of your life. Like it really is. And it's because I don't know if you've already had sex ed in class, right? This is what a man is. This is how we think. And then give her the breakdown on that.
Okay, what's the breakdown?
And I'm shortening it up, like, because this is gonna be like a 10-hour discussion, bro.
Oh.
Cut it down. No, that's what I'm saying. It's just like I'll just be like, this is what a man is, and then explain to her how we think. Basically, we're logical thinkers, and then when it comes to sex, how guys treat sex typically, especially when they're young, versus how women look at sex, especially when they're young, right? So basically, outline as much as I can. Make sure that she asks plenty of questions. I'm like, are there any questions? And then you still can't protect her at all because, like, she's a girl. A lot of those feelings are going to overwhelm her.
And then
so at
her social group.
Yeah, her social group, her friends, like, and that's why, like, I want to have a close enough relationship and an honest enough relationship if I had a daughter, you know, to be able to be like, look, I'm not gonna bullshit you. You know what I mean? Now that you've had your period, you're basically a woman. And so I'm going to talk to you like an adult. And I'm going to tell you what the fuck it is. All right? Because I'm not one of those people who literally just coddles people. I'm not just going to coddle. Even if I have a daughter, I'm not just going to coddle her mind when this is so fucking important, so life-changing. It could ruin her or make her. It's gonna be the difference between her being a wife or her being a baby mama. And God forbid, on my fucking soul, I'm not gonna let, if I have a daughter, be a fucking baby mama out here, bro. So, at the end of that whole conversation, if she still can't stop herself from fucking Tyrone Biggums, like captain of the football team, swole, looks like he has a future ahead of him, 6'5", 200 pounds of pure muscle, charismatic. At least wrap it up. Please, God, just wrap it up. Fuck him. Fine. If after the fucking dissertation speech I give her, she decides to still go after the one who she just can't help herself, right? Fine.
Daddy, I love him.
Let me talk to him. Let's see. Wrap it up. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. Be responsible. If you're gonna fuck niggas, don't fuck them all raw like shit.
Or fuck them in all the same social group, different social groups.
Yo, and that's my thing is like, yeah, that's it. Wrap it up, ladies. Just wrap it up, especially if you're younger. Please, if you want to have sex, fine. Whatever. Who cares? Because
it's natural.
It's a natural thing. I like to fuck. He like to fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, go have your fun, but just be responsible.
Because there are consequences.
Get frequent doctor's visits. Get your pap smear. Like get STD checks. Make sure that you get good quality condoms because those ones from fucking Planned Parenthood and places like that, they'll fucking break. You need to get high quality condoms. Be on birth control if you have to. Like if you're in a long-term committed relationship and you guys want to go raw and you guys are planning to go, whatever.
Secure the ring.
Get a clean bill of health from both of you. Nigga, I even told you guys on stream, I went and got fucking STD checked and shit. Like, I'm clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that, as a responsible adult, you just gotta do. You know what I mean? Have your fun, but don't let it destroy your life. Like, yo, just because you want them to shoot up the club, have 1 second of clarity to be like, pull out!
Or is this going to affect my reputation? Exactly, because Robert Greene and I think it was 48 Laws of Power says protect. No, it was, I forgot one of it. It's protect your reputation at all costs. You want a good reputation, not a bad reputation like that. That's why if you're interested in a person from one social group that hangs around, you can't, even if you're attracted to another person, if you have an interaction with this person here, and you got to go pick somewhere else like that. It's just because you don't want that reputation. You want a good reputation. Guys, we talk. Women talk to each other about guys. Guys talk to each other about women. We all compare notes. And
we all talk.
How we handle that shit is a little bit differently, but who knows? But anyway, so this has been Homeboy Etiquette. We shouting out to the homegirls, so we're going to start be homegirl advocates as best we can so we can get an actual homegirl in here so that way we can have somebody to balance out the scales in here. So it's 5280Q.
Yo, this is Kenneth the Raw representing Homeboy Etiquette here on YouTube, also representing KMT Games and KMT Productions here on YouTube. Once again, I'll give you guys a call to action here. Please like the video. Also, subscribe to the page if you have not already. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that you have about the subject matter that we're talking about, make sure to leave that in the comments down below. We would appreciate to hear your guys' feedback. Yeah, I mean, like, whatever you guys want to say, whatever you want to talk about. Or if you have any suggestions about topics that you may want us to talk about here in the near future, go ahead and leave that down in the comments down below as well.
Or email it at homeboyetiquette@gmail.com, and we spelled it correctly because we're fucking literate.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the email is in the description, guys.
So anyway, yo, so shout out to all the homies across the world, homeboys and homegirls. It's Homeboy Etiquette. We'll check y'all later.
Peace.